moving right along in our problem, we are now going to create another representation of the same problem. It's now a table, and it has an x value and a y value. The number of tiles is the y value, and the figure number is the x value. One is independent, one is dependent. The figure number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is independent. That doesn't depend on anything, whereas the number of tiles is a dependent variable because the number of tiles depends on the figure number. In this case, figure 0 has 1 tile. This one here, figure 1, has 4 tiles, and it goes up by 3 every time. Remember, plus 3. So this is 7, that's figure 3, that's 10, and figure 4, and that's 13. And so that very same 3 that was actually called the growth factor over here, this is the growth factor when it's in a tile pattern. Growth factor is in the table down here. It's the change in the y value. So this is the, I'm going to go up by 3 every time, etc., etc. This is called the change in the y value. That becomes very important when we look at slope, because the change in the y value relating to the x value change is what we call slope. But for now, connecting the growth pattern, which is 3 because the number of tiles changed by 3 every time, to the table, which is a change in y, the y value is the total number of tiles. And we're going to go now to a graph, which you'll see we connect now the rate of growth, which is 3, the change in y, which is 3 every time, to the slope, which is also 3 every time. Also important to note is that figure 0, there was 1 tile. The place to find on the table the starting point is where x equals 0. Where x equals 0, there is 1 tile, there's 1 for y, and you'll see in a moment in the graph that very special place when x equals 0 is called the y-intercept. So these are very important ways to connect the different representations together: the slope, y-intercept, the growth factor, and the starting point, the first figure 0. And in this case in the table, the change in y and where x is 0 on the table are important to connect to, as I was saying, the growth factor, and now what we're going to do, which is the slope.